back from hiatus. It is summertime, and it's time to get back to the business of Pelham Pugh. And that is writing, that is making content on my YouTube channel. And hopefully this summer I can finish up Come Our Way, which since March I have done absolutely nothing to it. I have done very little by way of working on anything YouTube related. April and May are very busy times for me, so I haven't really had time to work on anything Pelham Pugh related. But here we are, summertime, and I've got a lot of things planned. I did go one awesome place this past March during spring break, and that was to see the CSS Hunley, and that was a remarkable experience. Seeing a piece of history like that was awesome, and that's an understatement. Just to see the submarine and also to get to hear a little bit about it from an expert there. If you ever get a chance and you're in Charleston, South Carolina, go by. Make it a point. I think they're only open on weekends to visitors, but go see the Hunley. It is quite an experience if you love history. And I'm going to have that coming out on The Wandering Rider, probably the second Wednesday of June. Speaking of YouTube and all the shows, the first episode coming back in season 3 of American Shadows, it is complete. It is ready to release, and it will go Wednesday, June the 3rd. So, and it's going to center on a piece of local history here that I don't even think people who lived here all their life have ever heard of it. I heard stories of it as a child. My grandmother, I mentioned her, LV, loved to tell stories. And she would tell us a story of the great Clayton train wreck of 1913. And she was born in 1913, so she was not a witness to it. I'm sure she heard the stories. But it was a train wreck that happened on this local line that just about runs through my backyard right here. It used to, the central of Georgia. And it ran from Ozark to Eufaula, Alabama. And the great train wreck happened on November 13th, 1913. And she would tell a story about her uncle. Now, her maiden name was Mann, M-A-N-N. And she would tell a story about her uncle, Rich. Now, how true this is, I don't know, but it's kind of like a dad joke, really. But she would tell us a story of the train wreck and how, people were hurt down at the bottom of that 25-foot embankment. And people were screaming and yelling to help people that were trapped. And she said that one guy was, her uncle, Rich, was on the train, and he was yelling to help rich man. And there was another fellow said, look, we got to help the poor ones as much as the rich ones. And she loved telling that story. I mean, it's like a dad joke. It's funny, I guess, to a small extent. But how true that is, I don't know. I've never heard her talk of rich man otherwise. I don't know if he even existed. But apparently, if he did exist, he was on that train in 1913 headed to the fair in Eufaula that left the tracks and killed and wounded a lot of people. And it's one of those little known history things that I want to bring back to the public eye and preserve it, because I guess YouTube's here forever, and at least there'll be some kind of accounting of it that people will remember that. Coming up this summer, I plan on going to a few places, and I'm really focusing the first part of June, right here at the end of May, about the Revolutionary War. I think that with our country's 250th celebration going on, that it's only fitting. And living here in the Wiregrass in southeast Alabama, there's not a whole lot of Revolutionary War things that happened around here because it was Indian territory. And I mean, there were Spanish along the coast there in Florida, Georgia to a slight degree over there in Savannah. And I do plan on going back to Savannah because there's a lot of things that I missed over there. And one of them was a Revolutionary War fort that I plan to go back this summer to see. Also, I want to stop by that Jefferson Davis Memorial in the middle of Georgia. I drove way over there, 3 hours one day, right after New Year's. The website said it was open. The phone said it was open. Got there, the gates were closed. So I would like to go back and try to see that one more time. And I'll talk about that more as we get to it. One other thing that I noticed as I went on hiatus at around the end of March, the sales and the Kindle reads of the books plummeted like I had never seen them plummet before. It was like it went right in line with me going on hiatus. So I started thinking about that. Maybe this gets out to more people than I realized. The YouTube videos, the podcast, things of that nature. So I want to see you when we rail back up. This is the first episode of the second season of Shadows and Storylines. Like I said, American Shadows is coming back. Wandering Riders coming back. Iron Echoes is coming back. And it's going to be some very special episodes this summer because a good friend of mine has a lot of older White and Oliver equipment. If you're not familiar with White or Oliver, they are brands that are pretty much gone. White took over for Oliver late 60s, early 70s. 2 or 3 companies came together right there. We'll talk about it at a later date. But he has old Olivers. He has old Whites. He even has a White 205 that my dad had when he farmed full time. And he's going to open up his farm and let us see those tractors and might have a conversation with him. This guy and myself grew up together. We were like 3 miles apart, same age. Our first names were the same. I mean, we started hanging out, I think, before kindergarten. We were both children of farmers, and we would get out in the yard and we would play farmer with our tractors. And we would also, as we got a little bit older, more inquisitive mechanically, and we tore down, to my grandmother's chagrin, we tore down lawnmower engines, not having a clue how to get them back together. But he became an engineer. And I think some of the stuff that we did as small children kind of led him in that direction. But we also worked together in later years. When I worked in engineering, I wasn't an engineer, but I worked in the field of engineering, and we actually worked together for a short period of time. So we're going to get together with him with Iron Echoes, and we're going to explore those Whites and Olivers, maybe some other farm equipment that he has, and we'll go from there. So all 4 shows are coming back this summer with a vengeance. I can't wait to get started on that. And speaking of Shadows and Storylines, what you're listening to right now, the first few episodes are going to center on writing, things that influenced me in writing. And it's going to go from baseball to music and things of that nature. And I overuse that phrase, things of that nature. I'm going to try to get out of that. One thing writing has taught me, don't ever use the same phrase over and over again. And I just realized I did that. So I'm going to try to get out of that. And if you hear pauses, that's because I'm sipping coffee out of my Hunley mug this morning. Everywhere I go, I get a coffee mug because that is one of the best ways I can remember the places that I've gone. And I'm running out of room and may have to get another cabinet to put my coffee mugs in. But those are the pauses that you're hearing. Or not hearing. Anyway, I was going to keep this one short, around 10 minutes, and we're already at 9, just about 10 minutes. So things are coming up this summer. Can't wait for you to see them, to hear them. And if you haven't read the books, now is a great time. Perfidious Tides is only 99 cents on Kindle. And it's free to read if you have Kindle Unlimited, as are all of my books. Also, I have a great deal running on the website. All 3 books signed by me for $35, shipping included. Also got some great t-shirts if you'll check out pelhampugh.com. More t-shirts are coming also. So I look forward to speaking with you this summer, and I'll be on the road a little bit this summer with the books, mostly down in the Panhandle. So that's the Panhandle of Florida. I'll be in Tallahassee, I'll be in Port St. Joe, and I'll also be at Mexico Beach. Other places might pop up, so I'll keep you informed on that. But until next time, I'll talk to you later.